Hi, and welcome to this really quick demo of Caption. What we're going to be doing in today's example is uploading our own video collection that we have stored in S3, whereupon a lot of background processing is going to take place, including transcription, including natural language processing, and some other things. And then we're going to try out a couple of queries to see what kind of valuable information we can get from this. And the really cool thing to note here is that all the processing that happens on the video content itself. So there's no prior metadata that we're making use of. Cool. So let's see how it works. Now this part is pretty straightforward. The only thing we actually need to do is take all the URLs of our entire collection, which we have right over here, and paste them into the box. So now, as we said, a lot of background processing needs to take place, so this is not going to be instantaneous. We're going to add them to the index and then wait for a confirmation. So let's wait a bit. All right, now that the processing is done, we're going to try out a couple of queries. The first one is just going to be a regular keyword search. The word we're interested in is Voltaire. What do we get? What's the anatomy of this? So for each individual result, we get the URL. And as you can see, this is a video about Voltaire himself. No huge surprise here. We get the transcription. And then look at this really interesting thing. We get the timestamps of all the places in the video where the word Voltaire is mentioned. Quite a bit, because it's a video on Voltaire. But take a look at this as well. This is not the only video we get. We also get this one, and this is about Nietzsche's concept of the Superman. And Voltaire is actually mentioned in this video once, right over here. Okay. Before you see this in action a little bit more, let's go through a bunch of other queries. So we can get the full transcription. This is an ID of an Orwell video. George Orwell was an English intellectual. Okay, so we get the whole transcript here. And then we can also get similar videos. This is one on Soren Kierkegaard. And so here we get the one on Kierkegaard, distance 0, so it's that video itself. And then we get Sartre and Heidegger, and this is actually not at all surprising. So, cool. This is basically it in terms of the API calls, and now we're going to do a more elaborate visual demo. Now we get to the coolest part of the whole demo, namely using our API to power a web app. Let's try a couple of things. Let's try this first.
He also took some hints from Napoleon, Montaigne, Voltaire, and Julius Caesar. He concluded that
and a couple of Easter eggs as well.
About 1950, when Alan Turing wrote his famous paper which introduced the Turing test. Of course, Alan Turing had...
And another one.
This week, that's devoted to a Python review. Now, we know that there are...
All right, that about sums it up. So I hope you really enjoyed the demo, and thank you very much for tuning in, and goodbye.